Hi, this is Lara at Elliott Wave Stock Market with a free Dow analysis for you for the trading session dated Wednesday 13th of April. And I'm recording this video now, just gone 10 PM in the evening New York time on Wednesday the 13th after markets have closed. This is my daily chart for the Dow, and I'm expecting that we're in a C wave at intermediate degree upwards to end a primary wave 2 zigzag. And when this C wave is over, we should see a big trend change at primary degree and a third wave downwards at primary degree. I expect we're not there yet though. I have this target which may now be looking a little bit low, a little bit too conservative. 12,573.34 points, wave C black in its entirety, beginning down here, will reach 0.618, the length of A black, and at 12,661.1 points, wave 5 blue, beginning here, will reach equality with wave 1 blue. When we get closer to this target, if it looks like we need further upwards movement to go to satisfy a 5-wave structure from this point on upwards, then I will calculate a second higher target. At this stage I'll leave it down here. This wave count is invalidated with movement above 14,198.1 points because primary wave 2 should not move beyond the start of primary wave 1 at this price point. To the downside in the short to mid-term, this wave count is also invalidated with movement below 11,555.48 points, this point down here, because wave 2 pink, which has started to unfold to the downside, should not move beyond the start of wave 1 pink. In reality though, we would expect the lower edge of this wide blue channel to provide support for downwards movement and initiate the end of the second wave and the start of a third wave upwards. Taking you now to the hourly chart where the low for 4 blue and the high for 1 pink. This is low down here and this high up here. My last analysis a couple of days ago was expecting further upwards movement for a 5th wave at green degree, and I had a target 12,563.31 points. I was expecting this 5th wave to reach about 1.618, the length of this first wave. It looks like it hasn't done that. It looks like it's truncated, which means it's failed to reach beyond the end of the third wave by just a very small amount, but there is an excellent ratio between this short little 5th wave here and this third wave. The 5th wave is just 0.45 points short of 0.146, the length of the third wave, so it's an unusual Fibonacci ratio. That's a very, very close ratio indeed. Thereafter we have a 5-wave structure downwards here, so this is the end of a complete 5-wave impulse from the low here to the high here. Despite the truncation, it's a complete impulse, and now we're expecting a second wave at pink or minute degree to develop to the downside. So we have our first 5-wave structure down here for wave A within wave 2 pink. We will be expecting a little bit of upwards movement to continue tomorrow, most likely for wave B within this second wave, which is most likely to be a zigzag. This B wave is most likely to reach up to either the 0.382 ratio or the 0.618 ratio of this A wave at one of these two price points here, and it should show up as an obvious, clear 3-wave structure or possibly a triangle on the hourly chart, so I don't think it was over here. This seems a little bit too brief and too shallow to be a B wave correcting this A wave. Wave B, when A subdivides to a 5, may not move beyond the start of wave A. This wave count in the short term is invalidated with movement above 12,444. When we have a satisfactory 3 or possibly a triangle over for wave B, we should then expect another 5-wave structure to develop downwards for wave C green to end this most likely zigzag for wave 2 pink. At this early stage, we'll simply expect the second wave to most likely reach down to the 0.618 Fibonacci ratio of wave 1 pink at 11,894.9 points. When we have the end of B and we know where C starts, we can use the length between A and C to calculate a more accurate target for downwards movement. Just as on the daily chart, wave 2 may not move beyond the start of wave 1, this wave count is invalidated with movement below 11,555.48 points. It is possible, if we move the degree of labelling within this piece of movement or up 1 degree, that we have an end to wave 5 blue, and so an end to wave C black and an end to primary wave 2 zigzag over here, 12,444. At this stage, I don't think that's the case, because if this is the very first piece of primary wave 3, we would expect it to be much more strongly downwards. When primary 3 does eventually arrive, it should be very, very strongly down, possibly even exhibiting violent downwards movement. Wave behaviour is important, and I don't think this piece of movement in terms of wave behaviour fits the bill for what we should expect for primary 3. However, it could redeem itself if we start to see some very, very strong downwards movement. And just going back to the daily chart, we should always assume that the trend remains the same until proven otherwise. This wide blue channel is drawn here on the daily chart around the impulse for C black using Elliott's channeling technique. We should use it in the manner in which he intended to tell us when we have a trend change. When we see a full candlestick below it, that's when we will be using it correctly, and we'll have a trend change at primary degree. And the other important thing to look for is movement below this price point, 11,555.48 points, will give us an extremely strong indication now that primary 3 is here, because at that stage the main hourly wave count, as seen here, would be invalidated because 2 can't move beyond the start of 1. So until a trend change is confirmed, we should assume that the trend remains the same. For the next couple of days or so, a little bit more upwards movement tomorrow, followed by some more downwards movement as a second wave downwards completes. When that's complete, we should see the resumption of that steady, slow upwards movement for the Dow for at least another couple of weeks or so yet. That's all for me today with your Dow analysis. I hope this helps you in your trading, and if you would like daily analysis of the S&P 500, you will find it on my site.